What is up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube? That's right, I'm Chris, and today I'm going to be talking about the Shannara Chronicles, episode 5 of the first season. Now, let's get this thing started. Now, I actually thought this episode was pretty good for the most part, but there are a couple of things that I actually really did not enjoy, and I'm going to get to that in a couple of seconds. But let's get to the basic plot. And also, stay to the end. Don't be a dick. Watch the entire fucking video, okay? Now, let's get this thing started. So, the basic plot of this episode, Will and Trey and Amberly, they're pretty much still on a quest from the previous episode, and then on their quest, then they kind of run into something. So here it is. So basically, when they are running into something, they eventually run into the Rovers, and the Rovers kind of get back the stones and whatnot, and that's kind of the whole thing of this episode. Now let's talk about some good things, some bad things. Some good things is that we actually started with a good flashback. The flashback pretty much reveals Amberly's connection to the Eltrees, and how she was probably one of the first, well, she was the first woman to pretty much be chosen. And we also get to see how her father died. But then we also get to see a little bit of some demons that actually attacked the kingdom at the time. Now, that flashback, I thought was going to be kind of a, just kind of a worthless thing at first. But then it does come back, and it has a big significance to it. I'm not going to reveal too much, just in case you haven't seen it. But yes, it does have a big significance. Now, something that really... also, just kind of reversing out there for that negative is the kid actors in the flashbacks, they really did not work particularly. I thought they were awful. And pretty much almost everybody in that flashback. I don't know why. It was just kind of an awful mesh of things. It seems like we're starting to kind of get Will, Amberly, and Anna Trey. They're all starting to kind of have this cohesive unit. And I was just like, okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. Now we're starting to get something. You know, Anna Trey, she's not a bad chick. But, you know, she has her moments. Also, Stefano, James Raymar, I thought he actually had much more to do in this episode, particularly. Not that much, but I thought he had a bit more to do. Also, I thought he was, to me, I thought he was Anna Trey's father. But I guess it was just more like she was kind of an orphan, and she just kind of found her way, latched on. It's kind of like when people say you join the circus. In my opinion, that's what it kind of felt like. Also, what we get to see a bit more demons, particularly because I actually like seeing more things into this world. It adds more of a lore. But seeing more demons, I thought was great. You know, the creature designs were pretty well spot on, I'd say. And it was actually kind of a dark episode compared to most of the view. I thought last week, I think it was actually quite a dark episode. But this episode, you see headless people, seeing people bleeding or whatnot. I was like, okay, sure, bring it. The demon that kind of attacked him at the very end, for me particularly, I was like, that's kind of a scary looking thing. You know, it seemed like some mesh of something from Resident Evil and Skyrim meshed together. I thought that was actually really cool, and he kind of seemed scary and intimidating. Also, the big wasteland that they kind of killed the demon in, spoiler, it kind of reminded me of something like Fallout 4, the big radioactive thing, in my opinion. Now, some negatives that we kind of get is pretty much this. As I said, the kid actors pretty much terrible. The Will shower scene, I thought, or not, the bathing scene was another pointless shit. Also, when the Rovers do attack Amberly and them on their quest or whatever, they kind of take back the stones. I was just like, how many times are you going to get this thing? Because I feel like this is, what, the third time she's kind of played them and took the stones. It's like, come on. And the biggest thing possible that really was the biggest negative, and this is a spoiler here, so brace yourself, it's coming impact, was the king's son. You know, the bratty one pretty much just kills the king. He shapeshifts into someone, and he becomes the king, and he takes the throne. I was just like, that is straight out of, not Compton, but straight out of Thor: The Dark World. And I was just like, why would you take that? Wouldn't Jon Favreau know that that was taken from the Marvel Universe? You would think, right? But yeah, that was my review of the Shannara Chronicles, episode 5 of the first season. Comment, subscribe, and like. Please subscribe. Help me out. Help me out. Signing out.